Hi, my name is Hans Laessoe, and in this session for Risk Awareness Week, I'll be talking about scenario planning and how to leverage these for climate change or other global threats that may come around. It can also be used in other circumstances, but at this point in time, just let us keep focused. This presentation will be in 3 steps. First, and the third one is looking at the company and say we may need to be prepared to ensure that we have the maneuverability that we need in order to cope with whatever changes comes. Some changes takes a lot of time to adapt to mitigate, to leverage. Well, first of all, they used to help us think about issues that we would otherwise have missed. It's not going to change in any different way is simply not good enough. It could be the executive committee, it could be the operations office's leadership group, or whatever we need to do. And the 4 hours, well, the first hour we're looking at the driving uncertainties. Many teams that I've done this with have then added another discussion of who does what about which of these issues. The process and the tool is extremely simple. You're not involved in the discussions that they have because it's important that those who discuss the scenarios, those that define the scenarios, have ownership of what they do, and they can only have that if it's their task and not yours. First step is about uncertainty drivers, where you end up picking 2. Do we get a new financial crisis, or do we have a stagnant stability? Now, I have a total set of about 48 of these cards or these things, and they're in the tool that I will share with you and that I'll be going through. An important thing is that there are always 2 blank cards. Yeah, at a point in time, one of them comes out with the idea that this is not really pertinent to environment, that's pertinent to something else. Now we're down to 3, and they have a lengthy discussion and come up with, okay, this thing about resources is not that important. What we'll be down to is lab. And environmental sustainability becomes a KPI above profitability and growth, and that keeps hampering all the green development. And international trade is becoming an uncoordinated legislative nightmare because every country come up with their own little legislation leading to a world where the climate change is out of control. We should allow some 20 minutes for the 2 and come up with the completed matrix where we have all of the 4 scenarios that we have done now. At this point in time, we should be aware that the team has been working for 3 hours straight. What actions and trigger values do you have before you actually start doing something or just following the flow? So this is issues that we really need to address. Suddenly we get more frequent disruptions of our supply chain, which could be a problem, and we need to deal with that one. So we should be prepared for it and should be see, okay, what will we pursue, or who will address this, and be ready for it. And is to do something by 2022, 2023 in order to make sure that we can actually do this and report quarterly on progress. And the report is to include and spotted competitor actions as well as legislative demands, so that we keep being on front of this, and this is a non-issue when the issue emerges. And then we have this massive flood. The reference numbers are used to auto-generate the scenario matrix, so you can move it from there. And the PAPA model is simply a text matrix, just as the scenario matrix is, by the way. It's simply a text matrix, so you can just enter whatever you have, and making it simple that way around. I have a wife, I have 4 children and 4 grandchildren. I have never professionally used it for anything.